I'm Carlo Jager. I'm a sustainability scientist with a background in economics. I'm interested mainly in global challenges, things like climate change and financial crisis, similar things. I'm working on systemic risks with regard to such challenges, closely with the Institute for Advanced Sustainability Science, its director, Professor Ortwin Renn, and the Berlin-Brandenburg Academy of the Sciences with Professor Klaus Lukas. I definitely think so. You see, systemic risks in the financial system are discussed mainly simply as big risk. So a single bank can go bust, that's a small risk from that point of view, but many banks can go bust and a lot of property can get lost, that's a systemic risk. And then there's regulations trying to influence individual banks by requiring them to have more equity and things like that. And all this is very important and totally correct, but there's much more at stake. Systemic risks of the financial system as it is now, as a global structure, really threaten the world, meaning the world economy and billions of people, and that's much more than substantive financial losses of several banks. And the causes of this crisis can simply not be reduced to misbehavior or wrong strategies of individual banks. It's like somebody at a gasoline station throws a cigarette on the ground, but there's gasoline on the ground and you get a huge fire. Of course, the cigarette was a problem. The gasoline was a deeper problem. The gasoline may be due to the malfunction of some pump. What we did discuss in this workshop was what are deeper causes for what's going on, malfunctions, including things like the globally increasing interconnectedness of the financial system or the increasing inequality in industrial societies. And to really govern the risks of global financial crisis, we will need to address these underlying causes. We are specialists nowadays. Talking with people from a different field can often be a waste of time. We just don't like to waste our time. But second, once we start really talking together, there's a danger of becoming very superficial. Because by now, specialized knowledge requires a lot of training, and as soon as you start talking about other fields, you risk becoming superficial. So these are, I think, the two main challenges. On the other hand, again and again in the history of science, it's exactly at the interface of disciplines that great discoveries have been made. Even the computer was invented because mathematicians and electrical engineers started to interact. And there are many such examples. So it can really liberate potentials of creativity. And in view of things like today's systemic risks, it's actually essential. No single discipline can bring enough knowledge to the table to address one such risk. Well, as I said before, one must distinguish between, let's say, proximate, immediate causes of certain crises and underlying causes. As long as we don't address the underlying causes, information technology will make things much worse. Things will happen faster, they will be harder to control, and it's definitely a danger that we do not learn enough from the past financial crisis, and that we will run into an even bigger one in a few years, probably, or rather decades, but within this century. And information technology can make the thing worse. On the other hand, it's also clear if we want to have a sustainable financial system, we need to deeply transform it. This will be impossible without information technology. So if such a transformation goes hand in hand with IT, which is, let's say, what we should hope for and work on, then the prospects look quite good. But for the moment, we are not yet there.